Hey everyone, it's Lisa from Primitive Gatherings, and today we are super excited about having Debbie Maddy here. So I will just take a few minutes to chat a little bit until y'all jump on. So come on, say hi. Tell us if you ever made anything out of Debbie's fabric. Tell us where you're from. Just keep commenting because you guessed it, we got some giveaways today. So jump on in and we will get to Debbie in a minute. But until you're doing that, I have a couple announcements for Primitive Gatherings here. Our Hogs for Heroes auction that we scheduled for tomorrow, we are going to reschedule that. We have a couple people sick. We have not a lot of people signed up to participate in that. So we're going to push that kind of off until the end and then do kind of a grand finale at the end with that. So if you were looking forward to that yesterday, we are going to move that. Our everyday wool holiday box. Now, this is a box that you kind of like buy for yourself. It's for Christmas, but it's not Christmas items. Jessica just put those up on our website today. And guess what? We're getting orders like crazy for that already. So those are limited numbers. So make sure you snag one of those boxes for a Christmas present for yourself. And we are already planning lots of cool things for that. We are almost sold out of our mug for Christmas. Now this will have our Santa logo on it for this year, and we thought we'd give you a good glimpse at the colors of the mug. So it is a nice burgundy with like this foamy, looking cream on top. So it is beautiful, and it's not this style. It's a regular style mug, but this is just an example for color. And this is a pre-order, and just there's something with that too. Like if they order that, don't they get like a $10 coupon?
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, because it costs so much to ship this, we give you $10 towards a future purchase to kind of break up that shipping, and so you're going to order from Primitive Gatherings again, right? So we're just giving you a little bonus to cut the cost of that shipping. All right, so one more thing. All Things Pumpkin, which is October 29th, has been filled up, and we have a waiting list, so we decided to run the same class workshop day again on the 30th. So if you couldn't make it the 29th, and now you can make it the 30th, which is a Friday and a Saturday, we are starting to take reservations for Saturday as well. And it's a day filled with pumpkins, and you're going to eat pumpkin, you're going to stitch pumpkin, and we're just going to have fun being together and being social. So if you're looking for something to do, you need to get out, come, and we will think about the virtual event. I don't think we could pull off this one being virtual. We thought maybe like offering a week later virtual, but I don't know if you want to work on pumpkins a week after Halloween, right? So we'll probably work on the virtual thing for the Naughty and Nice event that we have coming up, because we want to include you guys at home that can't go anywhere, like the Canadian ladies and people from all over that still aren't jumping on planes or going too many places. All right, so do we have any questions before we start? Anything coming up, girls?
Nope, just saying hi.
All right. So let's get to the main event of the workshop, or the live here today. And this is Debbie Maddy's fabric here. You can see that. Debbie is dyeing indigo. And she is also my Moda sister, so she designs fabric for Moda. So there's a difference between hand-dyed and what Moda produces, and we'll talk about that. But I want you to be aware that Debbie is coming to Primitive Gatherings the 2nd through the 6th, and we have nice numbers. We only have a few openings yet for those classes. So I just wanted to bring Debbie on and hang out with her for a little bit. So, Kaylee, do your magic. There we go.
Hi.
All right. So Debbie is from Texas, but where in Texas?
I live in Graham, Texas, which is about an hour and a half northwest of Fort Worth.
Okay. All right. Perfect. I've been to Fort Worth, but I don't know if I've been by you yet. But so I'm a little sad that I won't get to see Debbie in Houston, but you'll be coming here in November, so we'll get to hang out then.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Hopefully,
Well, our quilt market has been canceled, but the Houston Festival is still on. So if you're going to that, that will be a whole different thing. But we don't get to go to market for another year.
nope,
So
April.
April.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not May. Is it in April?
I think it's in April next year.
Oh,
I could be
that's
wrong.
good to know. I need to put that. Just check that out.
Maybe May.
April quilt market instead of May. So we need to know that. Yeah. That'll make a big difference. So thanks for saying that.
Wrong about that.
Okay, Miss Debbie. So I signed up for your class because I want to learn anything I can about quilting and fabric, but two, I love just to do something for the day, whether it's, making a wreath or going to make a birdhouse or something like that. So I always look for something to do, and I think other people might as well, but how cool would it be to make something that we can use in our quilting? So kind of give me a little bit of what shibori is and how you came about.
Okay. Shibori is an ancient technique of resisting indigo dye. And indigo dye is the only natural blue dye that there is. There's lots of synthetic blues, but it is the only natural blue. And you can use the shibori techniques, which are stitching or folding and clamping or wrapping things around a pole. There's lots and lots of different techniques where you resist the indigo dye, which is always blue, and you get the designs like is what's behind me. And so that I started really in earnest with the indigo about 7 years ago. I had done all kinds of other dyes, but I'd never really gotten into indigo. And once I discovered it, it was like an obsession for me. And I've studied twice in Japan, I've studied in England, and I've studied all over the United States, from a man from Nigeria, a man from Mali. And so I have really put my heart and soul into learning the shibori and indigo dyeing. And I love to teach what I learn. So
Cool. Well, yeah, it sounds like you said if you're doing all that kind of informational background studying, then you're the one we need to take the class from if you've done all that work. So tell me about like I'm signed up for the 3-day class, but then you also have a 1-day class. So can you kind of tell me the difference between those two?
In the 3-day class, in the morning of the first day, we'll go in depth about the indigo itself, and we will mix 2 different kinds of natural organic indigo vats, and that will take up most of that morning. But you will have the knowledge from that to go forward and do your own vats at home or in your studio. And then I will demo lots and lots of different techniques for folding and clamping. And people that want to, which most people do, I'll get them started on some of the stitching techniques. And then the next day we will go more into depth of that, and we'll go over the stitching some more, and we'll start to pull those stitches so I can show you how tight and how to pull. And then the third day is kind of it's an overall where I can just keep going around the class and talking with and answering questions and just getting people to the point to where they really feel comfortable doing it on their own. In the 1-day class, I probably will have a vat already mixed. I will go over how you do it, but we will not do it in class because we've only got 1 day, and that's not enough time to do the other things we want to do. But you will the 1-day class of participants will learn lots of folding and clamping, some of the pole wrapping, and some very, very simple stitching and how to pull. And then both classes, you will learn what to do with your fabric when you get home so that it's a permanent bond with the fabric. And you can make garments, or you can make pillows, home deck, you can make quilts, you can make anything with the fabric that you want to do. Now, the class also, we'll work with cotton, all the cellulose fibers, but we can also work with silk scarves, and these are fabulous Christmas gifts. Now, the scarf that you have is a design, but it was made in Bali, I believe. So that is beautiful shawl type thing. But I can show you in the class how to do that. So it's just going to be a fun 3 days or one day to learn what you can and just do. So I can just let what knowledge I have pour into you, and we'll just have a good time doing it.
Cool. Yeah, this is gorgeous and it's big.
Yeah.
This is folded in half.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's a really nice. It's great for winters where you are to really wrap your neck, or it's good in the summertime to wrap around your bathing suit.
Right. So we're going to give away that scarf too today. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Awesome. So like I'm a gardener, right? And I have a plant in my garden called false indigo.
Uh-huh.
So is that really
No, it is
something
not,
totally different?
and it does not have the blue pigment in it that real indigo. Now, indigo grows all over the world, and it's different species, but the false indigo does not have that blue pigment to make
Okay.
the dye. But now, I think up where you are, woad, WOAD, it may be a weed that grows around.
Okay.
And it is a form of indigo. That's what they use a lot in France. So we'll have to
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It might
that's
be weed weather when I'm there.
that's interesting. Yes. Yes. Cool. All right. So like how many so we're going to be dyeing in the workshop. All right. And then we're going to like how much fabric will we be dyeing and like how much are we taking home? Are we like sharing amongst us or how does that work?
Okay. Now you have the prepared for dyeing fabric, right? Or do
Yep.
you? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So they need to purchase the prepared for dyeing fabric from you. And in the beginning, it's sometimes easier to cut some yardage into fat quarters, and then you could go home with more samples, and they could easily be used in a quilt. Towards the end, if you want to do larger pieces that are a little simple to do garments or larger things, we can. But I like for people to not spend tons of time on one big project. I think you can learn more if you do smaller projects. But 2 or 3, do you have more than one kind of prepared for dyeing?
I just have the Bella.
The Bella. Okay. I will bring some more that are different, like some linen. And you could probably, you can get the linen.
Okay.
And, it's a linen cotton. And that is great for quilts, for home deck. It's also wonderful for garments. So, and it dyes beautifully. So we'll talk about it and get you some more prepared for dyeing fabric. And then I will have the scarves when I come.
Okay. And Jessica just handed me this. Our class fee includes 2 yards of fabric.
Okay. So they're going to get 2 yards of the fabric.
Yeah.
Are they getting anything else?
Lunch, lunch, 2 yards of fabric, and it says there'll be a small fee. You'll be bringing other items if like the scarves and stuff, if you want to buy some scarves, and that's all it says.
Okay, that's good. The class fee is to support all the stuff that I bring and to give them something to play with.
Okay.
And I will give you where you can get some other prepared for dyeing fabrics. And
Okay.
if we have, there's some that are easier for me to get, and I'll just throw in a little bit of that to bring.
All right.
We don't have to use it, we can.
So like, obviously your motor line is like regular printed, like all of the other fabrics. But like if you were to buy hand dyed indigo fabric, how is it reasonably priced, or how does that compare to say like hand dyed wool or something like that?
The hand dyed is going to be at least twice as expensive as
Okay.
the fabric.
So
depending
somewhere like about $25 a yard.
and up,
And up.
depending on how long it takes, because there's a difference in this piece of fabric and this piece of fabric.
Okay.
This one takes 3 times as long to make as this one.
And it looks to me like the opposite. Like that would take longer than that would. Yeah.
And see, that's what you're going to learn in class, is how to
Yeah.
do these different ones. And everything behind me is my hand-dyed fabric. And
Okay.
the Moda fabric, I do the hand-dyed. I do all the work on it, dye it, and then I take it to Moda, and they send my fabric to Japan to the mill, and it is reproduced as a screen-printed Moda fabric, just like all the other Moda fabric.
Do you have the same? Show us like the hand dyed and the mill dyed.
This is my hand dyed. I did all the stitching on that. This is the Moda fabric.
Wow, look how close they are.
And the Moda fabric, there's different shades, and we did some color manipulation this time on the fabric, the latest fabric that has some gold and some gray, as you can see.
Yeah. This line has gold in it, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Give it a little accent.
Yeah, but it all starts out as my hand dyed fabric.
Yeah. Did you see the little elephant quilt, the baby quilt that somebody made a pattern out of your fabric?
Yes, what a cute.
Yeah, we have that sample coming. We just love that. So yeah, we have cut kits for that. So we're hoping that we'll probably sell them all when you come, because it's just so adorable. Yes. Okay, so we talked about that. We talked about the history. So does anybody have any questions? Let's take a couple questions while we're got you here, for Debbie or for me, or whatever.
What?
Not quite yet.
Not quite
Well,
yet. There's always like a little delay for the questions to come in. Yeah, it's all about the delay and what we can fill in.
Yeah.
So
in the class, you'll learn some little basic, and then your mind will start thinking, well, what if I do this? How will that come out? And so that's part of the fun in the class also, is having lots of people around you, and you're all essentially doing the same thing, but you're learning from each other. And once we start hanging things on a line, it's like, oh, how did you do that? And then
I can't wait to see all that hanging on line in front of the gathering. Oh my God, it's going to be so gorgeous.
Yeah, I love it when things are hanging on the line.
Right now I'm having Scotty work on a social media place where we can take photos. So I can't wait to have all that ready for when we're doing that.
We got some questions in.
Okay, here we go. We got some questions.
How long have you been dyeing your fabric, and when did you get started?
Did you hear that?
Yes, I've been dyeing the indigo dyeing for about 7 years. And I got started on the indigo intensely, actually taking a class from Kari Ming that does French General for Moda. And it was just a 1-day short class. She just kind of gave us a few little instructions. She mixed the vat, but it was enough to get me hooked when I saw.
Yeah, Carrie's pretty knowledgeable.
And then I just started. Yeah.
Good question.
Any more?
Yep.
Oh.
Are there differences in laundering?
In laundering the hand dyed, you just want to use a pH neutral soap, which is Blue Dawn dish soap. Some of your free and simple soaps or laundry soaps, and cold water.
So would you do that after you dye it? You'd launder it, or don't you have to? Or
Okay, in the class, I will go over all the steps to finish out the fabric initially. You have to neutralize it, wash it, blah, blah, blah. But then once you've got it all done and you're home and you wear this scarf and you get spaghetti sauce on it, then you just use a neutral soap and cold water.
Okay, that's awesome. Because I would never get spaghetti sauce on it. I have to get rid of so many clothes, little grease spots.
Yeah, salad dressing along with spaghetti. So it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. So
I know. I can't believe you get to come here. You're going to be our first guest teacher.
That is exciting.
All
Yeah.
right, here's another one.
I will have Shibori dye kits on my website probably mid to late November. If you're in the class at Lisa's, I'm going to try and bring some kits there that people can purchase and take home. But I'm trying to focus on all natural kits. So as opposed to some of the other indigo kits, and I'll explain all that in the class, but I will have on my website. I don't at the moment.
So what about the quilting? Does Sashiko go with this?
Sashiko is beautiful on top of any of the Shibori fabrics. Yes.
Yeah, because I'm definitely I love to hand quilt, so I can't wait to maybe like, hand quilt a whole cloth or something like that.
Yeah. And you're going to love the stitching part of the Shibori resist too.
Okay, good. Yeah.
The hemwork, yes. And
Yeah, I'm
somebody's
looking forward to it.
asking the name of the fabric line, and the fabric line that Lisa's giving the things away is called Tochi.
Yep.
Right there. Yep.
The quilt behind her is made with Tochi fabric.
What's the name of the quilt?
It's called Geese and the Lilies. And there's a lap size, twin size, queen size, and king size included in the kit.
So they can make any size in here?
No, that's a queen size kit.
Okay, this is queen size. And I know I went downstairs and we do have like 3 or 4 of these left. So I don't know if Jessica can find a link for it on the website if anybody wants that. But we do also have the mini charms, and we have jelly rolls, and we have some layer cakes. Look at how beautiful this is. Can you get a good picture of that? Look at how awesome that is. And you get all these patterns by scrunching, clamping, sewing, doing repetitively like that. I can't wait to see that. That's going to be amazing.
Yeah, it's fun.
So how many times a year do you release a fabric line?
1 or 2. This past couple of years, it's been 2 a year, but sometimes I just do 1.
Okay.
It depends. That's good for me. It's a lot of stitching.
Right, and I've seen some of your stuff done in regular fabrics too. Like people have taken your indigo quilts and just used like regular navy too. So it's not just like you got some really good patterns. You were a pattern designer long before you started doing this, right?
Yes, I started writing patterns in 2002. So I've been doing
I believe probably almost everyone listening to this probably has your big carpenter star, your easy carpenter star, pattern in their collection. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and it's great to use your hand dyed fabrics too.
I know. Do you have any of those done with your hand dyeds?
I don't. I need to do some stuff.
All those scrappy triangles in there and those blues. Oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah. I know. I love blue and white. You know that. I'm actually working on a couple last blue and white quilts myself here, so I'm a little behind.
Yeah.
So did you have a market line?
Well, pardon me?
Did you have a market line coming up?
No, my line that's out now is pre-market, and it's a little different than all my other lines because it's instead of based on my hand dyes, it is based on vintage fabrics that I purchased on my last trip to Japan. And so it's different, but oh my gosh, it's beautiful and they're going to love it. So
do you have any of that right now? Can you show anybody yet or not?
I could show you some. I have to get up to get it.
All right, go do that. We want a peek. That sounds interesting as well.
They want to know if there's any classes online. That can be online.
I know, that's that big thing. I know everybody wants to go online. We'll talk to Debbie when she comes back.
This line is called Yukata, and it is based on, like I say, the vintage fabrics that I purchased in Japan.
Those are beautiful.
And there's some really pretty. I have a hard time getting in the right spot.
No, you're doing good.
fabric person, but I love this pale blue.
When do they come out?
They will ship in February.
Okay.
And there's 2 pieces that are done in linen, and but this is not the linen, but this design is done in 2 colorways, and it's a mock-up like the Boro stitching that people are doing now. See, that's another ancient Japanese technique of patching and stitching on things, and that's what this piece of fabric, and it would make a great whole cloth quilt. And this is also, this one and this one are coming out in linen and cotton blends, and it will ship in February.
All right, awesome. Any other questions then? Do we have for Debbie?
Here's one.
Yes, it asks, do you get inspiration from the Japanese kimonos? And yes, I do. And I have 2 Japanese books that are dedicated to Shibori. And one has a tiny bit of English and the other one has no English. But their illustrations are so good that I can usually figure out what they've done and how they've done it. So but my 2 trips to Japan have been amazingly inspirational, because everything there seemed to have some sort of inspiration to it.
Cool. So have you been to Wisconsin yet?
I have. It's been about 5 years ago.
Okay. So you've had cheese curds then?
You know, I didn't, but I will.
Yes, we will make them right here for you. We actually have some right here. Right in our retreat house. We have burgers and fries and cheese curd night here.
Okay, yeah, good.
A couple people are wondering about, do you carry the things in the California shop, or does she visit the California shop?
Oh, yeah. So I don't know if Drew has any of Debbie's stuff there or not. I can't remember. So, yeah, you're just going to have to go on the California website and look if she has it there. But both of our shops are different. We don't order the same stuff because obviously it's California and Wisconsin. We don't order the exact same things. We have different clienteles. But I don't remember if we had any or not. But because it's not always, like, I fell in love with that elephant pattern, and I knew I wanted Debbie to come teach. So I know we've had like her last 2 lines here. So, and because we had to cancel a workshop of 2020. So yeah, not too bad though.
We're going forward. It's going to be
yes.
Yeah.
We are definitely going forward. So I am so looking forward to you coming. I hope maybe if somebody was on the fence whether or not they wanted to come or not, that maybe this helps them. So I'm going to probably go home with some fabric and that. What about mixing it with regular cottons? Can I mix this in with my other stuff? Have you done some of that? Or
you mean do your hand dyes and do a quilt that's hand dyed in your other cottons? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, can we mix it with, I mean, I know there's no rules. I know I can do whatever I want, but has anybody taken your hand dyes and used them with other fabrics?
Not that I'm sure of.
Okay.
We can do it. Yeah.
Yeah, we can do it. So do you do a lot of home deck with your stuff, or are you still doing a lot of quilts, or what are you doing with all your beautiful pieces of hand dyes?
Most of my hand dyes that I have done so far, I use for all my classes and for illustrations and for my motive fabric. But in this next couple of months, I will be doing hand dyes specifically to put on my website to sell. I do have.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I have.
That's going to be a great addition. Yeah, people will love that. Yeah. So, do you ever do any virtual classes?
I am in the process of doing my first virtual class, and it's going to be a what do you call it? Together with C&T Publishing. Okay,
cool. And are they putting a book out for you?
Well, we haven't gotten that far, but we're doing the class. Yeah. And so we're going to start with how to mix the vat and go forward with more than one class, but it'll be good. It'll be fun.
Yeah, because that was one of their main questions was, hey, can we do this virtual? I'm sure you'd have to I mean, it's when you do virtual classes, it's like has to be so super planned. Like you'd have to ship them all their supplies and all that kind of stuff ahead of time.
Yeah.
And so it would take some planning.
Yeah, it's always more fun in person, but I have people in Portugal that are interested and people in Italy that are interested. And that's just not really practical all the time. So, but
although I'd go with you if you need a partner. I'll carry your suitcases of indigo.
Okay. I was supposed to teach in France last year. So
I'll
let you know when that gets rescheduled. You can go with me there.
All right, you know my number. We've been roommates, right?
Yes, we have.
Yes, yeah, Debbie and I have slept together.
That's like my husband is a CPA, and I said I sleep with my accountant. So yeah, we us motor girls have a lot of fun, don't we?
Yes, we do. Debbie and I were together at the Kansas Trouble Retreat in June of this year, and we had a blast, and we got to hang out, and I got to spend a lot of time with her because we would drive back and forth in the morning and in the evening, and yeah, we can hang out. We're good together, right?
We are.
Yeah.
We're good roommates. Good.
Yeah. I even put those things on your back for you. I took good care of you.
Yes, I had hurt my back right before that. So
I know that was just really weird, but
that's why I have to you're elderly.
Well, you were a trooper. You didn't let it derail you or anything. You just, hey, put this on my back so I can go to work. Yeah.
Excited. I'm so excited to see you in person again, and we are going to have so much fun.
We are. So again, I want to invite you to come to a 1 or 3 day class here in Wisconsin. Debbie's coming up, and we are going to have a lot of fun, and you shouldn't miss it if you're here. So get a hold of us. Let me see what you can do. The gathering at primitivegatherings.us is email that you could see if we have any openings. And we would love to have you. And like I said, we're going to have a good time. We have this beautiful new facility, and who wouldn't want to be there for the first big name class that we have here? So I'm excited about it, Debbie.
I am too.
And I'm sure that we'll, have prizes for you all, a little goodie thing for you. So yeah. Any other questions before we get back to our real jobs?
Nope.
No,
but you can tell them that all of the information for the workshop is in the description.
Oh, yeah. So if you need any of the information that we talked about here, it will be in the description on the video on YouTube. You click the thing. There's always a description of what's going on in the video or links for these things. So I didn't forget about the prizes. Jessica, who won the scarf?
Susan Glenn,
this is yours. And then the kit, I believe this was the lap size kit, Debbie?
Yes, that's the lap size. Geese in a
lap. Okay. The lap size kit belongs to?
Barbara Dirk,
this is yours. So if you won one of these 2 prizes, Kaylee will put up the email that you send us your address to, and we will get these out in the mail to you. And congratulations. You're going to love this fabric and this beautiful scarf. I have one already. Otherwise, I wouldn't be giving this away. But I already have one. So I will share. I won't keep them all. Yeah. But Debbie, thank you so much. You'll be here soon. You'll be here before we know it. Time flies in my world.
Okay. I got to go on vacation first. So.
Okay, you go on vacation, have some fun, and come back and teach us everything you know.
Okay. Good to see
you.
Right. Bye.
Yeah, bye. All right, everyone.